misconceptions around voting in Michigan, but here's what you need to know to be informed. Number 1, in Michigan, you have the right to vote even if you have a felony. That means if you're in jail awaiting trial, you can still vote absentee. That means if you've returned home, you can vote absentee or in person even if you're on parole or on probation. Number 2, don't have a driver's license? No problem. In Michigan, you don't need a photo identification in order to vote. If you have one, that's great, and you should show it when you get to the polls. But if you don't, you have other options. You can show a tribal ID, a military ID, or another federal government issued ID. But if you don't have any of those, you can actually sign an affidavit and identify yourself using just your signature. After going through that process, you should be able to vote with a real ballot and not a provisional ballot, because those rarely count. Number 3, you have the right to vote even if you don't have a permanent residence. When you're filling out a voter registration form, you can use the address of a shelter, or you can also just describe the surroundings of the place where you regularly stay. Number 4, this one's important to remember. In Michigan, you can't go into the polls if you have stickers, t-shirts, buttons, or hats that support a campaign or a political party. So leave them in your car, or be sure to turn your shirts inside out or put a coat over them when you go in to vote. You can, however, take in slate cards, cheat sheets, and sample ballots to the polls if you filled one out at home or got one on your way in to the polls. Those will help you remember how you want to vote on Election Day. Number 5, polling booths must be accessible in Michigan. That means if you need special assistance, poll workers should be there to help you. You can also bring someone with you if you need help voting, as long as they're not a union representative or your employer. Most importantly, don't forget to register or re-register if you've changed addresses. The deadline for this year's primary is July 9th. Our primary election will be on August 7th, and then our general election is November 6th. Polls open at 7 a.m. and they close at 8. Don't forget, if you're in line at 8 p.m., you will still have the right to vote no matter how long it takes to get to the door. To make sure you're registered or to check where your polling location is, visit mi.gov/vote. And if you have any problems voting or suspect that someone is being turned away from the polls unfairly, don't forget to call 1-866-OUR-VOTE for nonpartisan election protection assistance. For more information, visit michiganvoice.us.